Okay, we're going to start the recording, and we're going to just chat for a moment here and getting started. And I wanted to show you some of the powerful websites that we're making from ICI World for members. And Nadia is online, and we also have Franco, who's also online. And these are websites that we've been able to go in and work with each of both Franco and Nadia to show them how you can use these powerful tools of the internet to bring 3 major world networks for their customers. These websites have more networks than any other website that I know of in the business, because all real estate brokers have networks. And I'm going to give you an example of when I'm talking about networks. When I click on residential, you'll see I can go down here and click on search MLS, and immediately one of the biggest major world networks, and that is MLS services and systems around the world, for the National Association of Realtors, for the Canadian Real Estate Association. These are the biggest, fastest, and best networks for marketing properties once you have a property, or if you're able to list it and put it on MLS. It's wonderful that this website can have it, so that Nadia, who has anywhere from 1 to 400 customers, and I'm talking about all licensed real estate people in the business, have between 1 and 400 right up to 700 people that they know, and you just have to go to a wedding and see how many people are at the wedding. All of those people that go to that wedding that each of you attend, every listener that's listening in worldwide, that is either a member of the public who wants to buy and sell real estate, you go to one of these websites. Now, these websites are tailored for certain areas, although some of them have a world search on them. I'm going to show you the major world networks that people that are registered with ICI World, registered salespeople with ICI World, have 3 major world networks. One of them is the Search MLS, which we install on their website. But another one happens to be the exclusive listings. And these exclusive listings pop up, and these are coming from ICI World. And this is a widget that every real estate salesperson in the world can have. And once you have it, if somebody sees a listing, and let's say they click on Toronto or on anything, this is going to come up from within your website. And then if somebody's interested in one of these listings here and they try to click on it, they must write that number down. And then what they do is they'll go up here to either contact, which is under the home button, where's, okay, we can go to home. And in this particular case, we can email Nadia. That's one way to do it. I'm going to click on that, and we can actually put those numbers in. I didn't copy it. I guess I didn't copy it. But if I had copied it, I paste it in there, and the people can actually send an email to Nadia and request more information on these exclusive listings, which only broker members of ICI World have access to, and have the ability to network them from their website. And what this does is present more opportunities than just what's on a licensed real estate board, because 50% of these listings are actually exclusive, not on real estate boards. So we're recommending that everyone should have their real estate boards on their website. They should have exclusive listings on their website. And then, by virtue of having this particular website called Point 2 Agent down here, what you're going to also have is other brokers who have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website. And we make up special buttons because ICI World is an official distributor of these Point 2 Agent websites. We're an official educator, and we're also a first line of support for these websites. In other words, if you get one of these websites from us, we totally help you set them up. And we sort of like to teach you how to fish rather than actually handing the fish. Although the first website is totally set up to make you money, we show you how you can go in and customize it and get your own photos and make it into your own image, because this is your office building that is on the internet, and it should represent what's in your heart, mind, and soul, what's on your website, so that you can present the absolute very best presentation to the public for them to search fast, quick, and easy. So when somebody goes to Nadia's website or to Franco, they can see these listings coming up on the screen. And other brokers have agreed to allow these listings to be on Nadia's website and on other brokers' websites. And what's beautiful about this, these pictures, you'll see that people can click on them. I call this the ultimate in marketing on the internet. When you can see interior photos like this, right across the industry, and the brokers are presenting them so that when a broker puts information on these networks that we're talking about, it's instantly available to tens of thousands of people from locally and to people in 138 countries worldwide. And Nadia is presenting it all from the convenience of her website. Now, what makes it even more special, and by the way, people can actually, if you want to check out this website, there it is, NadiaP.com, which represents Nadia's first name and the first letter of her last name. And she was wise to do it so there wouldn't be any spelling mistakes, and it's easier to remember. And so when you go to this website, this happens to be a mobile website. And watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to minimize some of these other screens. But this is the size of a mobile device. So in other words, the listings come up on people's mobile devices. We're suggesting that every single licensed real estate salesperson in the world have one of these mobile websites. And if you get them from ICI World, we'd love to help you. And we'll go over their specials to join today, and you can call us at any time, and we'll kind of go over this. And because prices and everything change so, from time to time, we want to be careful in these videos, which are long lasting. I'm talking years. We have YouTube videos made years ago, which are still prevalent today. They're still effective today. If you go to the ICI World YouTube channel, all the videos that we've made are actually still effective today. So we want to be careful when we represent prices that it could be outdated 6 months or a year from now, those kinds of things. But so you're going to actually have to kind of call us and go to our website and just go to ICIWorld.com and click on Join Today, and you'll get everything laid out there, and it'll be up to date. But they're so reasonable and to kind of get these things, and they're actually free for 30 days to get these websites. And you'll see how people can go through Nadia's website on their own mobile phone. So if every single one of Nadia's customers, potential clients, friends, families, relatives, acquaintances, and all of their family, friends, and acquaintances, 300, 400, 500 people all have Nadia's website on their mobile phone. How do they do that? Well, if you want to see how that's done, we actually have some nice little videos that kind of teach all of this stuff, how to add a mobile site to a phone. You can do that from the ICI World YouTube channel, and you can also do it by going to ICIWorld.com and just start to search around and poke around, and you'll see it all in action. And so in addition to that, there's a special property search function, which a lot of real estate sites do not have, where people can actually subscribe by email to receive listings. They can set their price low and the price high, price range that they're looking for, and they can pick, if they want a residential property or a condominium or maybe duplex, triplex, or something like that, they can select it. And then they can specify locations, and we have locations all around the world, people. So I don't care if you're calling in from the United States or any part in Canada or any place in Asia, Europe. We have websites that have listings in the Caribbean, all over the world. This particular website is tailored for the Greater Toronto area. So if somebody wants to click on, say, Greater Toronto, but let's say they're only looking for a home in Burlington, they could actually select Burlington from Nadia's website. And if they can actually program this website to automatically send emails to them when a new property comes for sale, so that 2 weeks from now, if they get an email from Burlington, from Nadia's website in Burlington, all of a sudden Nadia will get a call and they'll say, Nadia, I just got an email and I called my wife. We'd like to go see it tonight at 7 o'clock. Can you set up an appointment? Nadia can say, yes, I certainly can. I'll have someone call you back. And Nadia, who does not work in Burlington, she can call that broker in Burlington and say, listen, I've got a lead for you. They want to see the house tonight at 7 o'clock. Is a 25% referral fee okay with you? And you tell me if that isn't great service for the public. Much like doctors do referrals and lawyers do referrals and accountants do referrals, real estate professionals do referrals. You immediately provided some great information for that particular customer and give it out to that broker, 25% referral fee. And if the property's, say, $1 million and it's a $50,000 commission, 5% on $1 million, $25,000 typically goes to the listing broker, $25,000 to the selling broker, and usually the $25,000 to the selling broker, that's also split between the salesperson and the office. But in this case, Nadia would receive 25% for doing that particular referral from one single inquiry that was set up with these listings on her website, which works out to $6,250 for doing a 5-minute referral. Now, we have one broker who's done as many as 15 referrals in less than 6 months. So you can see the amount of money that can actually be made if you've got traffic going to your website. And so one of the things that you need is leads. If you don't have leads coming from your website, it's almost like, why even have a website? You've got to get traffic to your website. So we're going to be referencing back and forth here a little bit this morning, and we're going to actually show you that you can go right to ICIWorld.com, and then if you click on for members right here, you're going to see that you can register for our next session, which is the webinar, Register for How to Promote Your Website. Everyone in the world that has a real estate website should register for how to promote your website. The nice thing about it is you will get a copy of the recorded video whether you attend or not, because we know that not everybody can come at the one time. And as a matter of fact, we have a small percentage attending our webinars. This is a recorded version of it that we're making right now for everyone in the world, so that you can all see it on your own time and make your own decisions on what you want to do next, which is hopefully to get on these services, make your information available on these world networks, and take advantage of these things. Now, why would theoretically a residential salesperson also have commercial on the website? And it's for the very reason that you can do referrals. So if somebody clicks on Ontario Commercial, they can also see this information on Nadia's website. Now, Nadia may not want to go sell an office building or maybe a 50-unit apartment buildings, and you can see all the apartment buildings coming up. Would anyone in real estate on their website like to have over 300 apartment buildings on your website? Just join ICI World and presto, you're going to have them. We send you the links. You forward them to your website designer. The very next day, if somebody sees one of these listings, they have to call you, because as a member, a person cannot click on those numbers. They have to call you for more information, and you just do a referral. Just by installing these links, you can be triggering referrals. If you don't install them, every person who does not have them will not get a lead from any of these kinds of listings. You have no chance to make money on any of these particular apartment buildings, and 90% of these are not on real estate boards. Now, if you need explanations for anything, if you don't ask questions to us so that we can handle every single one of your inquiries, you are missing out. We actually make statements in real estate seminars that we do in offices and at real estate boards that real estate people are actually missing doing deals, and they don't even realize it. Well, I'm letting you know that everyone's missing doing deals, and you tell me, if you have this on your website, you have a chance to trigger leads. If you don't have it on your website, you have no chance to trigger leads on any of these. So now you all know it. If you don't have it, you can actually be missing triggering leads. And not only that, there's things like power of sales. You can go to, for instance, here's another good example. Click on power of sales, search, and all of this has been designed by not just myself and the people that are surrounding me, which are fabulous people I have working with me, Cecil and Lorraine and others, but it's also designed by each and every one of you. In other words, the feedback has been coming back from licensed real estate brokers over the years who we've been serving, and that's who we learn from, and we just enjoy learning in the industry every day. There's something new, but all the money we're making is actually being poured back into new services. In order to keep up to date on everything, you got to be developing new things every single day. And so that's what's really happening out there to all the revenue that's coming in here, because we grew from the bottom up. We never had like $20 million of venture funds to kind of make this service grow, which would have overloaded us tremendously. And then we would have had to charge high rates for everything here. So everything is very, very low, so that we can make it virtually one-stop shop where you can just place your listings and reach the world, search the listings on your phone, and get the information. So it can be very, very quick. And so I'm not going to go through all of these. You can go to Nadia's site and you can check all these various links that you see here, including this latest link, which is brand new. And this is a world link. Now, this world link, you can pick any place in the world to kind of search. And so Nadia has, it's possible somebody could actually choose the USA, and theoretically if somebody clicked on that and the information come up on the screen, for instance, somebody could end up calling on the 6.5 acres in Niagara Falls, New York, actually, in that particular one, or St. Petersburg, Florida, because when they try to click on it, they can't do it. They have to call Nadia. Nadia can call that broker in St. Petersburg, Florida, do a referral to that broker in Florida, and be receiving a referral fee in U.S. funds. Isn't that wonderful? So our challenge is to make this service grow. We've got it up here running, and maybe one of these days, one of these major companies will come along and say, hey, listen, we got to take this to the next level, and that absolutely should be the next level, because it's just wonderful for brokers that brokers can come in, they can search homes with color photos, your own personal listings can show up there, and there's a few that Nadia has right now, and because she just got started, she's got 3. We actually recommend every single salesperson in the business have at least 15. Today's session is about that. How do you get to 15 opportunities to make money in the marketplace? And it's working with exclusive information. That's how one does it. We even have a big section on FSBOs. These listings are coming in from all over the world. You can actually, if I was to click on Toronto again, these listings are being placed by the public. We let them put it on absolutely free, the public, and the listings are circulated to the members on ICI World only. Only our members have access to these listings. So if somebody is interested in this particular pharmacy, you have to just see that number there, get a hold of any member that's on ICI World, and they can look that up. And so every member in the world should actually establish a good relationship. Every member of the public should establish good relationships with members of ICI World to be able to access this information on a very quick and easy basis. And so that's one of the things. Now, resources, she's also got these different various buttons there that can kind of help the public. She's got one link there. We're going to be talking about in our session called How to Promote Your Website about all the other resource links that you can build in here, and you should have at least between 20, 30, or 40 links, which are all the local things that when somebody moves into your local market area, whether it's in Orlando, San Diego, Washington, it doesn't matter where, you can provide them with a lot of great information on moving into your local area, moving checklists, lawyers' costs to buy a home. All those kinds of things can go into this resource links button, which has unlimited ability to do that. In addition to that, there's also things like buying for buyers, first-time buyers kits, smooth home purchases, 6 steps. Now, when somebody requests this particular document, they fill in this little form, and when they say okay, what's going to happen is their name is actually going to go into, it's not a CRM, but it is a database within this back-end website. If you go into the back-end, you can actually get into it, and we'll do that when we do our How to Promote Your Website. We'll get into the back end and show you how the prospects are being added to your website and how you can be programming people, whether it be on an open house. And this is great, this property search function on an open house. I'd have 3 iPads open on a kitchen table and on the counter of letting people fill in what it is they're looking for and have your website automatically send them listings. And when you got 15 or 20 people subscribed to receive new homes of listings that match the description of what they're looking for, and if you give them good service, and there are a lot of complaints I'm getting some from time to time that the public is trying to get a hold of the agent and they can't even reach them. Their phones are not even set up. There's a lot of issues in the business, but we cover that more in a workshop. If I invite you, every one of you that's going to listen to this, to let us do a webinar for your real estate office, no matter where in the world you're located. We've done them from British Columbia to Florida, California. You just get everybody in your office, shoot it up on the screen, put it on hands-free telephone so that everyone can listen. We'll do a trial run with your manager of your office. Just only takes a few minutes to make sure that everything can set up and be working with the sound working is the key. And we can actually present these kinds of things to your office right over the phone and go over the actual agenda of what we would actually cover. And we can make it suitable for you so that we can show samples that are in, whether it's in St. Louis or no matter where it is, Missouri and Albuquerque, it can all be set up for everyone in North America and Saskatoon and Vancouver and you name it, and Collingwood, it doesn't matter. These websites work all over the world. An example of Franco's website that's on the screen. And here it is. He works a lot of business opportunities, and you'll see he likes showing businesses that he'll actually sell manufacturing businesses and gas stations and all these kinds of things. And you'll see businesses up here, and we have a special page that we've got for him of all the different kinds of businesses, so that if somebody is interested in a restaurant, they click on restaurants, and you'll see just how fast the information comes up. It's 2 clicks, bingo, it's on the screen instantly. This triggers leads. If somebody sees a listing here, for instance, this one in Toronto or this one in Yorkville, furnished, whatever it is that people are looking for, it'll pop right on the screen instantly. People just call Franco about that message number, say, I'm interested in it. Can you get me some more information? And then that's up to Franco to follow up on all of these kinds of listings. So you'll see that we've even got FSBOs that come up on the screen, MLS listings that come up on the screen, and these is 3 major world networks that are all coming up on Franco's website that the average real estate broker simply has regular real estate board type listings. We're recommending that you have these other networks as well. And it's very, very inexpensive to kind of do. Literally at the moment, it works out to $199 per year with $16.50 a month. I mean, that's what we're talking here, plus a membership in ICI World, which is basically just $40 a month. And you should be generating leads every 90 days. Otherwise, you should be calling us because you're missing something. Okay, now we're going to actually go through. This is going to be a bit of a checklist on what we're going to be showing you what's going on here. And I'm going to start by starting at the top. Now, how far we get through this, because I only do this for 90 minutes, that's it. And wherever we finish, we're going to finish. If you want to take on more for a comprehensive session, please do invite us into our office and go to our YouTube channel, and a lot of our previous and past seminars are there. Everything is applicable. People say, I saw your video from 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's just great. It's just as applicable, solid today as it was back then. That's working marvelously. And I always thought, by the way, I'm sort of challenging all the leaders in the business, the heads of boards of directors of real estate boards and companies, to get a hold of us, because this stuff is working from the ground up, and we're looking for somebody to kind of take this on and do it as a trial test run for all of the people in your office, and watch what happens, and look at the information that can make you money in your office that you cannot work on a real estate board, but it should be worked. And real estate boards, we're suggesting, could even adopt this service as well, and we do anything we can to try to accommodate it. So there's a lot of money being made in real estate, and we're going to be showing you various tools that can kind of help you make money in real estate. And if you want to see the various testimonials here, I'm going to click on testimonials, because I want you to see, so that you know you're not wasting your time. We've got people making tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars here, and over years it is hundreds of thousands of dollars for each of these people. You can go through our testimonials on ICI World, and if you don't do it, you're missing out. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you don't know. Well, now you do. If you're listening to this, you go through these testimonials and listen to what they have to say. We've got little videos here that you can see it. Now, you can see this on your phone. I'm letting everyone know you should go to iciworld.mobi, M-O-B-I. Write it down. If you don't have a pad of paper, go get one now. Get up and go get a pad of paper, because I'm giving you stuff that can help you make money without joining. You can have access to all kinds of information here, and listen to these videos, to what some of these brokers are saying. These are the cutting edge people that are online and that are doing this kind of stuff, that are making this kind of money. And sometimes you don't know what makes money out there, what doesn't. Well, you come through and start to read these testimonials. Some of these were done. We exhibit at the largest real estate show in the world in Canada, and one of the top 3 largest shows in the whole world, and that happens to be Trev Realtor Quest, where there's 44,000 members at the Toronto Real Estate Board. And we've been working alongside with members of the Toronto Real Estate Board for the last 20 years and getting things going. But there's issues, and we're going to cover some of those issues today, why some people make money and why some people do not make money. And there's an explanation for it all. Now today we're going to cover how to work exclusive information. That will be the highlight, so stick around for that. It's coming up a little later in the session. This gives you extra opportunities to make money that you do not have now, and it is applicable for residential real estate just as much as it is for commercial real estate. Our service started with commercial real estate over 20 years ago in 1994. The first ones on the internet for commercial real estate information service, and it's lasted right till this day. We've been making a living. We're not getting rich quick or anything like that because there was a lot of issues. I could write a book on it, but it's so ready for prime time now. It's incredible. And it's been running prime time for us, keeping our living going all over these years, and for paying for a lot of different things. But we are taking whatever money we have and we kind of put back into it to kind of grow the service. And the nice thing that is today that there is absolutely no debt. A service like this, we've seen services purchased for $20 million with investments of a lot more than that to make things happen, to get up there, to be able to have it set up to do this. And our systems are so proprietary that anyways, it's specialized people that we have building the service on the back end, and it's just working smooth today as it was in 1994. Methods that you can get more listings. If you're able to give somebody who's selling their home privately for sale and give them just a little bit more service than what they're presently getting, and then you end up getting a buyer before they even do, because don't forget, you have the 3 major world networks if you're on ICI World, and bingo, you might be able to trigger leads to show that property even while it's a for sale by owner. And a lot of our people are doing it, and eventually, whether it sells or not, if it doesn't sell, eventually people want to put it on MLS, then you might be the one that gets the listing. So that's another way to help you get listings, is using ICI World to help you actually get a listing you can put on a real estate board. And we're going to show you methods to search exclusive listings while you put iciworld.mobi on your phone. It doesn't matter whether you have an iPhone, an Android, a BlackBerry, Windows phones, you name it. iciworld.mobi will always be there. We're going to try to always make it available for all the mobile phones in the world. It actually works a touch better than even the you can load the app for iPhones and Androids, but today we just found out some of our videos are not showing, YouTube videos not showing in our testimonial area on the iPhones, and that could be because there's maybe, I don't know if it's a proprietary thing where sometimes Apple doesn't want to show certain things and do things a certain way that others do, but I know that if you get an Android you can do just about it all. But there's also other advantages to the iPhones and too as well, and it makes it so easy for people just to kind of load it up from the iPhone. There's certain element of trust that it's a good service as well if you do things, if it's already in the App Store, that kind of thing. So we absolutely support all methods, but during our growth, if we can solve that issue of we have the audio comes up on the videos on the iPhone, but then the screen turns black. I don't know why. Go to testimonials and you'll see it. And I don't know why that's happening. And those are issues that we're handling every day since the beginning in 1994. We come up, cutting edge technology, run into a little thing. How the heck do you solve it? Then you got to research. And then all of this stuff costs money to hire people to do all of this stuff. So we hope that if you don't mind, $40 a month kind of keeps this stuff going, but it should pay for itself. It should not be an expense. It should be an investment. If you're not triggering deals or doing deals every 90 days or triggering at the very least, and this is part of it, big part of it, generating leads that you feel will lead to doing deals, you give us a call. If you have a flat tire in your car, you do not abandon the car. You get the tire fixed. We are the tire fixers, information fixers for information on the internet. So, give us a chance to give you a hand. Now, we've shown you some of the widgets and how they work already. That was the very first part of the session, and we're doing it in little reverse steps in some of our stuff today, and we're finding that sometimes it's a little more exciting and keeps the interest going, because all of you are pressured by everything going around all around you, and sometimes having a longer one of these webinars actually loses interest. People just can't hang in there because we're in a 3-minute society and we can lose people right away. So we're trying to keep things going, see if we can. But I'll tell you one thing. This is dry. It's not like Dancing with the Stars where everything's beautiful. Basically, you're listening to my little voice and them pointing this stuff out, but I'm like a little mad scientist who's been working in just like the inventors of Edison and Marconi, working in your own little thing with stuff all over the place, inventing things, and we've invented this, and that's what I've done as a broker for 40 years. I just spent the last 20 doing this, nothing else. That's it. not selling, just 24 hours a day trying to learn this stuff to help brokers in an office, because we're getting killed. All brokers are getting killed with expenses left, right, and center, just overwhelmed with expenses, at least expected. And then in advertising, everything else, you add it all up, and you got to really watch the bottom line, and generating income is the other half of it. You got to do both at the same time. And that's what this has done, is to try to reduce your cost, but take 100% advantage of the most powerful medium known to man. And one lead from our little system, it makes you 15, 20, 50, 100, $200,000. We have people making 4, 5, 6, and now 7-figure incomes, and like they pay $300 a year. Basically, that's what it works out to if you join on the yearly basis. And then we even have sponsorship programs. If you contact one of our members and end up joining, and they recommend you, that you can actually join for $240 for 1 year. So there's little special things going on here that you just have to take a moment to kind of investigate, and you'll see that it's a no-brainer. It's actually crazy not to have one of these websites. Now, we support all websites in the world. Just so that you know, we recommend you keep all of your websites. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one. They can all be triggering leads, and if you're making a lot extra money, why not? You keep them all. And we support them all, and we actually provide widgets for all of your websites. So we have a good understanding what it takes from working with brokers all day long. We do appointments here. Everything is by appointment. We cannot have 40 people calling in at one time and explaining things, but what we can do is make an appointment for 30 minutes. We can make 80 appointments a week, no problem. That's just 40 hours a week. It's the same as a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer working in their offices. That's the same thing we do. Half-hour appointments, and you get personal one-on-one attention. So we're sort of like a doctor of the internet to a certain extent, making sure that you take advantage of these services. But there is a minimum requirement on your side to look after yourself. If you don't feed yourself properly, you can get into trouble health-wise. If you don't look after your information services properly, and there's only a few basics, and we'll show you some of those basics hopefully as we go along here, to make sure that you take advantage of what's going on the internet. How to promote your website, absolute basic. If you are not promoting your website, shame on you. Why even have a website in the first place if no one is going to it? You got to learn how to promote it. Not sit in front of the computer working on your website every single day and not doing anything else. You got to be out there talking to people belly to belly, and talking to people about what's going on in the marketplace, giving out your business card and promoting your website and letting them know what you got on your website, that it can send out listings to you. It's got sources of information for everything going on in the area. We got 3 major world networks. We got MLS listings. We got exclusive. We got residential. We got commercial. You got to tell them all this stuff and get them excited to go to your website, because you will have things that other brokers do not have. That's an advantage, and all of your friends, family, and relatives will have a newfound respect in some cases, because you're plugged into all of these major networks, and they'll work with you to try to take advantage of it. If you don't have a mobile website today, shame on you. These are mobile websites that you could be sitting in a Kelsey's restaurant and with one of your friends or family, relatives, customers, it doesn't matter, and you should get your mobile site to be added to the home screen on their mobile device. That means they will have the largest source of information right on their home screen. Now, for realtors, there's a couple of more links that we're recommending that you also have on your mobile phone, but that's going to be covered in a different session at a different time, and we do those in information seminars that we do in offices and other webinars. But for the purposes of you and your customers, make sure that your website is on the home screen of every single one of your customers' phones. That way, no matter where they are, they could be with their friends, family, or in fact one of their friends that maybe they play sports with, or they're in a church group, or whatever, choir or whatever, and they're interested in property. He can actually pull up your website on his phone and show people how they can subscribe to receive listings, how they can search the local real estate board right on their phone, and get your website added to other people's website. So I think there's a move afoot to get onto ICI World and get everybody in the world to subscribe to your website, to get it onto their mobile phones. And that should be something that should be viral right now. It should be viral to get these things going, so that every one of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 people that are in your sphere of influence get your website onto their phones. Okay, let's move on. You can mark this down that you should add the iciworld.mobi site to all of your devices, no matter which one they have. It literally is 30-second information on any listings available in your city. That's the goal. Within 30 seconds, you press one button, it pulls up a little search thing, and then, in fact, I'll just do a real quick one right here. I'll do 30 seconds. This will come up on your phone, and then and if you got it as a shortcut, they click on it, and then you can click on world with residential keywords, or you can place commercial keywords. This comes up, and if you want a keyword, and if you're looking for, I don't care what kind of property that you're looking for, and maybe it's a food business or something like that. If it's in commercial, you can come right down here and maybe click on food. Bingo, go down to the bottom and search. That's how fast it is. Food comes right up instantly. So in other words, and then if somebody clicks on one of these, bingo, there's the contact name and number for that particular person. That's a food manufacturing business. That's a little different from a pizza shop or something, but that's the kind of thing. Here's a submarine sandwich place for lease for submarines. And you'll notice they're exclusive. These are like 90% of these things are exclusive, not on real estate boards. So there's a tremendous source of information to search, but also it's a tremendous place of information to post your information, your haves and wants. And if you're a member of the public, you come to one of our websites and you look for something, and it's called For the Public. And when you go for the public, you can sign up for our newsletters. You can sign up for Canada or the US. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter. 4 ways for the public to make a connection. There they are. You can search database 1, search database 2. You can subscribe to receive listings by email. You can place your information with an executive member. And you can actually also add your listings absolutely free. You can click on free ad, and you'll see that a form comes up, and you can actually place your ad absolutely free. And if you want to search those particular properties then in database 2, you simply go to ICI World and go to search, and you'll see you can search database 1 information placed by the brokers, but you can search database 1 for residential placed by the brokers, but you can search database 2, the FSBO area. When I click on that, a little form comes up, and I'm not going to make all these choices for you because there's business categories you can search, any place in the world you can search. But when you search, these listings are actually placed by brokers or placed by the public. Okay, and so the public can post information here and do it that way. And if you want to see what's going on in the USA for fun, I'll just click on Search USA, and you'll see Brooklyn, New York. There's a church building, 186 unit apartment building, Houston, Texas. All of these things are coming in from Kissimmee, Florida. You name it, properties are being put in here. And for the real estate brokers in the Florida, you should be on this service because we started as a Canadian service way back long time ago, and our Canadians are interested in the warm weather. Although we've got 80 and 90 degrees here right now, we're interested in the winter time to come down there, and a lot of them are buying properties. In fact, when we did seminar at Tampa Bay, we were down there doing a seminar at the real estate board. What we're finding is that when Canadians were buying 38% of the properties in Florida, and you could be advertising your Florida properties right on ICI World. It reaches the whole Canadian market. So, come on, let's get on here, get going. If you want to take advantage, get your information on here. All you have to do is make 1 or 2, leads and sales in the first 3 months. It just paid for itself for a lifetime, and then you can stay on it for the rest of your life and in a positive fashion. That's why we call it an investment rather than an expense. So you can see there's a lot of good stuff happening here, and we're going to move on. Now, this seminar is a result of 20 years of being on the internet. It's all crammed into a 90-minute to 120-minute presentation. And when we do it in a seminar in a room, that's really the best because people can ask questions as we go along and just stay along with us, and they can take notes as we're going along, and it really does help. And the fact that they can see one of these videos afterwards, it reinforces things. Seeing it for the second and third time is actually reinforces things. All of our seminars can be taken 2, 3, 4 times. There's new things that you will get out of it each and every time because it reinforces what we've already taught. Now, this is money-making things for brokers and salespeople. This is just like digging for gold. You know that program on TV called the Yukon, and they're dredging through the mud and they're sifting through dirt to kind of get to the gold, and they got broken water pipes, and it's cold and they're wet and they're hungry, and it's just really, really tough to go for actual gold. Well, ICI World is the gold that is on the internet. It has the information because the information is coming from you. It's coming from every one of you listening to this program. You all have the little gold nuggets that somebody else will appreciate. But the problem is you don't know how to do it. You haven't done it yet. But guess what? You've got a friend in the business now that's going to help you get your information on here. And we're going to help you post it in a fashion that protects your interest, protects your sources, protects the confidentiality of the situation, but then advertises the opportunity. And because we've been doing it for 20 years, we were even doing it. In fact, real estate commercial brokers have been doing it since the beginning of time, and doing it in a confidential fashion, because this service actually started out of a problem that I personally had when we would attend a real estate board meeting with 50 or 100 brokers in a room, and people would stand up and talk about, I have a buyer for a little shopping center. I've got an apartment building, 17 units for sale over here with an NOI of such and such. I was writing down feverishly, trying to track all of these various opportunities. I couldn't write it down fast enough. That is what gave birth to me developing this service to take the computers and technology, starting right back from the DOS days of Edlin, and starting from there, developing a database out of Edlin. Can you believe that? It's absolutely ridiculous. And today it's all SQL and JavaScript and Oracle and you name it. And it's really developed tremendously and got better and better. So we sort of saw that it was going to be helpful to brokers. And when we had one set of brokers back in the early 90s actually buy a string of 14 shopping centers in California, and it was all through ICI World. And this is where you used to sputter out a little beat at a time, beep, 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 and then the little thing coming across the screen like the old Morse code days. That's what it was like. It was an online bulletin board system that has morphed and developed into this kind of a system today on the internet. So we still haven't even got where we want to go. We've never had that $1 to $2 to $10 million investment where we can get the absolute best programmers to take it a way further than even what we got, and great designers to take it even further and to make things. But I'll tell you one thing. We've got it developed that it's within seconds, 30 seconds, you can find the information right now. So it is working as smooth as a baby's bum. And as long as people can see that it's kind of working for you, we're very excited to kind of continue to present it. Now, we don't have time to go through all of these because we've digressed in one way. Each seminar, sometimes we digress one way that makes each seminar a little bit different. But to give an example, we were in a Royal LePage office of 20 some odd people the other day, and we went over these various apps that are being used by people on their devices. So this is an educational seminar that we normally do. I've covered a little more some of the service from ICI World. We want to be a little stronger, a little more aggressive. We get you all off the fence and taking advantage of these services. So pardon me for doing that. But in consideration of us kind of doing these educational seminars and putting them on videos and spending all our time and doing all this kind of stuff, we would like to do our little commercials and showing our services personally as well along the way. But one of the things in the education, Evernote is a fabulous program. I don't even know how I would keep track of everything in the business today. I have like hundreds of notes on various things, web clicks, images, files. I've got everything that it says there in bullet point number 1. It's the most popular program being used on the world on people's handheld devices. It can keep track of a grocery list. It can keep track of issues that you have with people. It can actually record evidence that you ever need future trials. It can do just about everything, keeping track of things. If you can't remember stuff and people, places, and things that said, you can track it all in that Evernote. Just amazing, and I haven't even given it. I could spend 1 hour talking about Evernote. Everybody should get it and then learn about it. The KeyPass.info, fabulous. It works on all devices. I have like 150 passwords. It can actually help me log in for wherever I can, and I can do it literally within just a couple of seconds and log in because of it. Dropbox, if I dropped my computer right now, I have all my files in Dropbox. I literally could use anybody else's computer in the world, go log into Dropbox, and then run that file. So I can have this PowerPoint presentation that I'm making today actually up and running. In fact, I could travel without a computer. As long as somebody's got a computer where I go and an overhead projector, I can actually just use their computer and just go ahead and do this particular session. A Magic Jack, absolutely very helpful. Skype. WhatsApp is what I'm using. I just press one button. I talk to my wife, happens to be in Portugal right now, and we just talk back and forth. Absolutely free. And we can text. What I like about it is that you can send a message. It sends one little check mark. if the phone receives it, it sends another little check mark. So I know sooner or later if she sees that, and if she sees it and opens it and sees it, it turns to blue. So I know that she's read the message, and then it's up to her when she wants to get back to me and vice versa. But we can know not everybody has a phone actually handy at all one time. Now the nice thing about it is you can actually click on a button and actually talk right through the internet directly. It drops little calls once in a while, but that's the flavor of the internet. But we're able to actually talk anytime. So we're as close as our nearest WhatsApp in our mobile device can to talk to each other no matter where we are in the world. Instagram, absolutely. Searchinman.com. What a professional service that is. You should all go there and just kind of read the articles. And I'd subscribe to the service. I think it's worth $100 a year to listen what's going on in the whole industry from other brokers that they are covering. They have reporters that are out there reporting, and the same thing with REM in Canada. It's called the Real Estate Marketing Magazine. Everyone should be reading that because there's articles for licensed real estate brokers and salespeople, the challenges in the industry, the issues that are happening, how people are making money, how people are overcoming problems. All that kind of stuff is covered in that. Finding your iPhone, if you don't have it on there, to find your iPhone if you ever lose it. I could go into stories, and I do go into stories on all these other different things that you see here. There's a nice little service. You can be in your car and looking at a home with one of your clients, and maybe the home looks nice and you never brought it up to them. So they say, well, how much is that one? You can go right on to realtor.ca and bingo, pull it right up on your screen, and you could say, well, it's $620,000. Your budget is like $450 to $500. So it can rule out homes right away, right while you are in the car, so that it doesn't leave little like hanging questions that could be bothering somebody for later, and then they're disappointed, but then they forgot what you showed them in the meantime. Here you can just get answers right away. And when you provide great service to people, that's really what we're selling, is good service to your customers and keeping in touch with them. So these are some of the other things that are all recommended. The top CCIM commercial apps. I happen to be a CCIM. Now I'm talking a little quick today, and part of the reason is I don't want to lose interest to people, because interest can fade very quickly and rapidly, and then no longer are you here to kind of listen to things. So pardon me for talking today so quickly, but I'm trying this out to see if we can cover things quickly and keep your interest kind of going. But normally we would actually be speaking a lot more with thought and clarity in a regular session, and then that way it really kind of sinks in, so we're not glossing over things. But you can stop this video at any time by simply clicking on the main part of the video, and it will pause it, and then you can just move it back a little bit if you want to replay some of these things. Pause the video and click on the main video any place on the screen to kind of continue it, and at the bottom right corner you can click on maximize. You can actually maximize this video so that it takes up your whole screen, and if you want to escape from the maximization, you click on the, drag your mouse to the bottom, a little window will appear where you can maximize or minimize the screen, or you can click the escape key on your keyboard, and that'll escape back to a regular video that you can control. You can stop and then you can close it, that kind of thing. So that's how you can handle this video. Those are some of the other things. We'll cover them for a commercial group, going into some of these a little more details. Favorites bar, every single person should have it. I'm absolutely amazed everybody doesn't have it yet, but if you do a session with us, the first thing we do is install a favorites bar. That way your top 10 favorite apps or places that you visit on a regular basis are right on your favorites bar. One click bingo, you're there. One click bingo, you're there. You will save keystrokes the rest of your life. Put your top 10 favorite websites on there, learn how to delete them, how to add them, and kind of go from there. Security on the internet, absolutely essential. And I can't cover this. This is a session for 3 hours to cover some time. But let me see if I click on security. I want to see if I've got this all set up. There it is, iciworld.net. Now, if you just type in iciworld.net/security, it will take you right to this page. You don't have to type in the whole SHTML. There it is there on the screen, people. iciworld.com/security. How to do a proper password. If you don't know what phishing is, I question whether you should be doing anything having to do with money on a computer. Don't do anything on a computer, people, if you don't know what phishing is. That's my advice I'm giving you right now. If you like it, fine, no problem. If you don't like it, it's up to you. I'm just an assistant to brokers and salespeople worldwide. If you don't want to use our advice, you don't have to. You're the boss, every one of you. We are just assistants to you all along the way. Password test, you should check your passwords to make sure they're strong enough. And Microsoft has a safety center. You can go there. This always comes on at 12 o'clock. If anybody knows how to get rid of it, let me know. I'm having issues with some of these things still to this day, going in, trying to find out where to turn that little calendar thing off. You think it's easy? Give me a hand doing it. I appreciate it, okay? And, okay, thank you. Let's move on. Canada's anti-spam legislation. Be very careful if you're sending out 500 emails. You can actually end up getting blocked. We actually have a complete subscriber list that have been subscribing to our services literally for 20 years. And one thing we suggest is you set up filters and put things into a mailbox. You don't have to have all your mail coming into your inbox. Have it filtered out. Filter it into little boxes and places, and there's special ways that you can filter your mail into little file boxes in various different ways so that it doesn't have to take up your inbox. And that way you can sort everything. And if you ever want to check all the stuff, say, from ICI World, you just go to that box and you can check the latest things that are coming out from ICI World. If we send out an event, it'll go into that little filtered box that you made, and you can click on events to see what's kind of coming up. That's another way to do things. So you can always have it as a reference. And then if you remembered somebody sent an email from ICI World with a special shopping center 2 weeks ago and you want to find it, but you can't find it on ICI World, you can go right in and search it. And you can do keyword searchings within the boxes of mail that you kind of get as well. Now, I'm not going to be handling that right now. I'm just going to stop that phone. I should have put it on vibrate in the first place. In fact, I'll do that now. Now, you have to be careful, people, because we know from statistics that 75 computer systems at 2,500 companies have been infected and hacked. You'll see that Phone Busters reports that over 1,000 Canadians alone. And so if the U.S. is 30 times bigger, you got 30,000 citizens in the U.S. that are being victimized by identity theft. All kinds of things are happening. $5.2 million lost there, over $1 billion lost in the United States from phone scams, credit card fraud, all kinds of things that are going on out there now. And the interesting thing about all this stuff is they're getting better. All these hackers and the thieves and the fraud artists, they're getting better and better and better to try to take your money. And you got to be more careful and careful. So you can read about all this stuff in our security page. This is a public service to the real estate industry and to the public that we serve. This is both to everyone. Now, when you go through here, you're also going to find that we have some videos. Here's the confession of one scam artist, for instance, who actually talks about how they were scamming people and shows you how they're doing it. And it was ABC television news documentaries on 2020 and NBC television programs, FBI scam protection. All of these things are available here that we have built up over the years to kind of make you wiser. And if you don't know what a stop sign is when you're driving a car, you're going to get into a crash. Well, there's some serious things that can happen if you don't know what's going on the internet. And if you're not aware of all these security things that are happening on the internet, then you're cruising for a bruising. Okay, so let's back out of here. Here's the main ICIWorld.com website. You can kind of go to this website anytime and kind of learn all about it. Security on the internet. Okay, we have Garrett Klassen is retired. I bring him up here because I just want to show you the level of competence and professionalism of some of the brokers we've had helping to build this service over the years. And I just had a fun time with Gary doing some of our seminars and vice versa all together throughout the years and helping to design the system. And I want to thank to other professionals in the business that have helped contribute to this service over the years as well. There's my particular credentials, and part of the reason I bring it up is to let people know where we're coming from. We started as a broker, as going through the same trials, tribulations, the highs, the lows, the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs of the real estate business, and slogging through mud, putting up open house signs, and then the phone rings and you drop your phone in the mud. All kinds of things can happen, and to the point where the customers are so happy and you received a check for your commission, you've made money, but more than that, they're inviting you over to their dinner at their new house and they just love it, and you become friends for life. And that's really one of the wonderful things that happen in this business when you're doing just a great job to help them. And you know, every single licensed real estate broker in the world helps create wealth for every single customer that they serve. Every customer that they serve is making money in real estate, 10, 20, 50, 2, 3, 4 $400,000 or $500,000, and it's all a real estate person that kind of helped them get into real estate, help them to get over the hump, to get into that new property that suits them properly, and handle all the 40 different things that have to be done on every sale. It's licensed real estate people that do that. And just go to the Canadian Real Estate Association reasons to use a realtor. Look at them all, and before you put your house for sale privately, for sale by owners, look at all the potential problems you're going to have. You can have gangs of people walking through your house while you got it for sale by owner. Do you want to leave your wife at home, you know, when you got all these strange people coming through the house? There's all kinds of issues going on out there that people don't realize. And then the fraud artists and the scam artists come in on top of that, and all kinds of issues. Whereas if you can have a competent professional that can literally accompany people through the house, showing the properties and write up proper offers that people can afford properties, not people that can't, stuff like that. There's a tremendous amount of work and effort, time and training going into every single salesperson to kind of provide that wonderful service for you, so that you can benefit from creating wealth in real estate and the benefit of the enjoyment of use of the properties. And so we've been doing this real estate business for many years. I've been a broker for over 40 years. We speak at real estate boards and offices and invite you to speak to our annual year meetings. We're ready to come right to your major meeting, kind of do a nice great seminar for your major meeting at the end of the year, and also in your real estate boards at any time, and we can discuss how that can be done. Normally our sessions are around $2,000 for doing seminars in real estate offices and real estate boards, and we're happy to do that and make it strictly educational, where we don't do any selling. But in exchange, if an office wants to allow us to do a 6 to 8 minute commercial and mention some of our services throughout the presentation, we'll actually do it absolutely free. So in other words, we'll do a free seminar in your office or at your real estate board in exchange for doing a 6 to 8 minute commercial. But if you don't want these commercials at all whatsoever, then you can just simply pay the fee, and we will exclude that. Now, I happen to be also a CCIM. We're recommending that every single person in real estate take, at the very least, the Foundations course and CI 101. You should mark that down, ccim.com. And those two courses will actually take the mystery out of commercial real estate. Every one of you know how to handle mortgages, how to arrange mortgages, land titles. You know how to just everything about showing a property and understand the legal ramifications of making sure are there any easements and everything else. Well, when you learn about all this kind of property for residential, it's not that great a leap. I did it from residential moving into commercial real estate, and it was a CCIM program that actually helped us do it. Now, for the advanced level people, the people that work for McDonald's corporations and major corporations, you should get your people into the CCIM programs. It will help you with acquisition and disposition of properties, analyzing properties, doing demographic analysis. All of these kinds of things are supplied and taught within the CCIM organization and the service providers that provide to it, and you can learn about all this stuff so that you can do market study analysis in many different ways with maps and sketches. It's just wonderful how things can be determined, so you can make a better decision when you locate your franchise, your business someplace in the demographics that will suit your people, and watching the competition. All that kind of stuff can be learned through the CCIM organization. In the case of people that are starting for the first time, coming into this, it will help you in the very first course, help you analyze the before and after tax ramifications of investing in any income producing real estate, whether it's a duplex, a triplex, a single family home. Believe it or not, you can do an analysis. Can you make money on it by estimating your potential capital appreciation, and you can make it as much or as little as you want. And don't forget, the real estate is paying off the mortgage if you've got it rented out to people during the whole time, and it helps you analyze all that good stuff. So, and before and after tax. The courses are conducted worldwide, absolutely a worldwide organization, and the best training and educational courses that you'll ever get. Speak to any CCIM, and they vouch for it, and that's why they've spent as much as $10,000 to get all this under their belt over a period of time. But you can start by just taking 1 or 2 courses initially that can actually help you do commercial real estate. What's better, to sell one home every 5 to 7 years, which is still good? Residential people do it, but why not sell 2, 3 properties a year to one investor at the same time while you're doing your other work, and then do a little bit of both? And especially in all the small towns and communities across the nation, it's not just major cities doing real estate, it's all the independents and all the little cities throughout the nation and the world that are doing a lot of this business. So, and you have to do a little bit of everything to kind of make a living. So this will help you be the source for doing this kind of business, and you will find that some people will not want to deal with anyone else and unless somebody's had this training, because you can help them analyze their next investment. Instructor Lineup, this is just to give you a flavor of people who have kindly consented to do our courses, similar to what we're kind of doing today, but they are going to do it with their own flavor. And we invite at this time all trainers or people who are interested in training and doing this particular program and carrying it worldwide to give us a call and get onto our roster, so that if we have someone who wants to do something in Utah or California or Florida or just any state, Oregon, or same thing with in Canada and any of the provinces, Alberta, give us a call so that maybe we can send you the information and you can go through our PowerPoint talking about all about it and kind of conduct it in your market area. And we have a little per diem, and nobody's going to get rich doing this, but you know something? I find that every one of these people has a genuine feeling that they love to serve people. They love to help people, and in the industry, they love doing it. And they've all kindly volunteered with it. We have little offsetting per diems for people to kind of conduct this kind of worldwide. Now, the nice thing about it, and this goes for CCIM instructors and others, there's business being done. When the class is finished, I mean, there's people coming up and doing business with each of these instructors at the same time. And there's a tremendous amount of business being done with instructors from classmates that attend these particular functions. And you'll also be able to do that too. So it's another sort of a synergy that kind of triggers other things going on in the business, and it can be just very advantageous all around. I call it a win-win situation. And the testimonials are coming in from literally all companies, all members of real estate salespeople in all these companies. And you know, maybe our exit strategy should be selling, getting the major companies to all partake and kind of maybe own this service someday. So yes, it's possible that this service has to evolve. It has to be taken more seriously by the major companies of the world. By maybe they should all put in, you know, $100,000 each and just put in a big capital thing and get this thing going even more than what we've done right up till now. So we're kind of open to suggestions on how to have this service kind of be distributed worldwide in a very quick fashion. I'd love to do it within my lifetime. So if anybody's got a major way to kind of help us do that, we would love to see that happen. Why is this so important, this particular session today? Well, I'm suggesting it's because you're all in real estate. And it is real estate on the internet that provides the highest return on investment, because one lead makes you thousands of dollars. If somebody sees a property on your website, a little $1 million building, and they call you and you go show it today, you have a chance to make $25,000 today. It's just like the gold on the internet. If the ounce of gold today is around $1,400 and you make $14,000, that's like 10 ounces of gold. So the gold is the information that's on the internet. And the heaviest thing you have to carry is your briefcase and maybe a pen, and that's it. Think about it. You can make money with information. Now, how you work with information is what the subject of this session is all about, and we're coming to that here very shortly. Now, you all have to have patience with me, people, because I cannot speak as fast as everybody thinks. So the way we have to have patience with you, you have to have patience with us. So kind of have patience with us and we'll get through this nicely. Now, then the interesting thing is, there's a big statistic down at the bottom. You're going to see 9% of properties up for sale by owners are actually sold without an agent. What that means is that 91% are actually sold with an agent. So everybody that has a license to trade in real estate, and you see for sale by owner, get excited. Every one of those people needs help. They don't sell properties themselves. All of them are actually being sold. The majority of them are being sold by a licensed real estate broker, which are where we got cars. A lot of the cars in the roads out there are from agents that have got customers in them that are clients and friends that are going out and looking at properties, and they're with the buyers, are actually with a lot of the agents right now. So, you know, they're really being sold by licensed real estate brokers and salespeople. And that becomes a major market of information for the brokers that are on our service. And I'm going to show you how you can get that information, put it on ICI World. So we're going to start as a group, as an organized body of people, licensed real estate people, collecting all that loose information that's out there. And there's a way to put it on ICI World without having a signed agreement, which might raise a red flag right away in a lot of people's minds. But there is a way to handle it in a competent in a professional manner, in a way that is compatible with your licensing body. And the essentialness of that is you do not identify the property. You do not give an address, because if you do, you are in contravention of codes of ethics, codes of conduct, and actual bylaws of these various licensing bodies. And basically, the bottom line is, if you're going to give an address to somebody, if you're going to identify a property, you must have the consent of the owner in writing. But if you do not give an address, if you do not identify a property, then you can network information in the world today. And we're going to be showing you exactly how that's done here momentarily. But we're showing you the source of what's going on here on ICI World. That 75% of the listings on ICI World are actually not on MLS. In the residential side, it's actually closer to a 50%. We actually have been a commercial service for 20 years, and really the last 3 got into residential big time when we learned how to separate the commercial from the residential. Properties coming for sale, typically they're not put on a real estate board, and you're going to see major lists of properties coming for sale. If you're getting a listing in 1, 2, 3, 4 months from now, you could actually put it on ICI World coming for sale. And then when people call you, say, listen, in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place before actually identifying the property or giving you an address. But once I get the listing signed, I'll put your name on a list, and then once we get the listing signed, we'll call you back. And if you're still looking for that property, then you can be one of the first people through the property at that time. So you can see there's ways to do this. Up in Lake Tahoe, a lot of the gorgeous properties up in the mountains, some of them are being done on this exclusive type fashion. FSBOs, for sale by owners, assignments, which typically are not put on real estate boards, all these kinds of things. These are assignments where people order properties of a condo to be built 2 or 3 years from now. They're very prevalent in Toronto and the major cities of the world where there's a tremendous amount of building going on. These kinds of things can be networked through here. Now, ICI World has 2 databases. The member database, you become a member for as little as $300 a year, $40 a month, and if you get sponsored by somebody, even less. You can be posting information in database 1 so the public can see it, give you a call, go show a property, make $10,000 on a piece of information. You can do that in database 1 if you're a member. And the public can read database 1 absolutely free. Just go to iciworld.mobi on your phone. When you do a search, you're doing a search in database number 1. The listings in database 1 on the apps, your listings must be less than 90 days old. If they're older than 90 days old, which a lot of members have listings older than 90, they're not showing up. You're not getting seen. You wonder why you're not making money? That's one of the reasons why. Your listings are old. You never kept them up to date, and you didn't have 15 opportunities because you didn't work exclusive information, which every member should have 15 opportunities because there's all kinds of exclusive information in your marketplace. The public database is database number 2, where all the public can get so much action so quick by simply putting an ad on ICI World, and then it goes out to the brokers. It's not sort of put on the internet for every single Tom, Dick, and Harry to kind of see. The fraud artists, the scam artists, the people that can start approaching you for all kinds of reasons, such as in the Kijijis of the world, which actually provides a great service, but you got to take the good with the bad. And so what's happening, it's not getting filtered through a licensed real estate broker, so you can actually end up in problems. Now, most purchasers will subtract what they think the commission's going to be. You never end up saving the commission in the first place because people are subtracting the commission anyways that they normally would have paid. So you end up doing all the work, having all the headaches, making all the problems and the errors along the way, some of them causing you so much, thousands of dollars, that, you know, many people wish they just had got a realtor in the first place to solve all these things in the first place. But the public can post it on ICI World, and it does get filtered through the hands of licensed real estate brokers and salespeople. So if you put a property on ICI World in the private member database, absolutely for free, and it's for sale, if one of our members has a buyer for your property, would you like them to call you? Well, if the answer is yes, you should be putting your properties on ICI World. If you are a buyer, you should be putting your wants on ICI World. And if one of our members has a property that matches the description of what you are looking for, would you like them to send it to you by email? That's it. That's as simple as what happens in a public database on ICI World. The public can post their information free, but only the brokers have access to it. The brokers You can search, everybody in the world can search the member database absolutely free, but only the member brokers of ICI World can post information. But your information must be less than 90 days old to appear on all the apps worldwide. We're on the front page of major trade publications. We do major international real estate shows, local real estate shows, investment expositions, all kinds of shows in the area, and we're handing out these mobile websites to get people going to, because once they put it on their phone, they've got it for life. They now know that they can access exclusive information the rest of their life. So ICIWorld.mobi getting rolled out to the business. Thousands of people are searching it. It's up to the real estate brokers to wake up, smell the roses. Where are people looking? I'm telling you now, ICIWorld.mobi is one of them, and the ICI World apps are one of the places, as well as ICIWorld.com. Now, we're saving some special things for someday for the people, the major people who might want to come in and invest in the service, some major domain names that will be all-encompassing worldwide. We've saving them up for them when they come online. So that's not going to be just ICI World, because that indicates industrial, commercial, and investment, but really we do residential as well, and ICINR basically, but there's going to be another major name that can be used to cover all aspects of the residential and commercial. Now, we have two data streams: the commercial listings, where 75% of the information is exclusive, not on real estate boards, and residential, where about 50% is not on real estate boards. And in certain areas, such as the shopping centers, 90% are not on real estate boards. Now, email subscribers that subscribe to our emails, there's some of the figures that we have online. Members actually deliver haves and wants by email. Everybody in the world can select to receive emails for their area of new listings coming in daily. So, and it's a digest is what we recommend you subscribe to for your state only and for your province to get started. If it's residential, the only residential ones we have built are it's actually for the province of Ontario at the moment. But that'll deliver by city, so you can actually subscribe to your city. If a new exclusive residential real estate opportunity, buyer or seller, comes available for your city, would you like to get a copy of it by email? That's as simple as it can be done. And we're trying to make these things easier to subscribe to. There's still some challenges there now as far as I'm concerned, but we'll get there when we have time and money to get to it someday to make it a lot easier for you. Now, the power. The power is instant, people. When you put a listing on ICI World, it's 18,000 pages on the internet, penetrating the farthest reaches of the internet. It's instantly showing. There's actually over 2,000 real estate broker websites that have our links on their page. It's not listed here. I should be adding it on here. In fact, I'm going to make a note, add some of these other things on here. The circulation and distribution is what you should look at. We have undersold it. We have not been really selling it as much as it's going on, what's really kind of going on there. So in other words, if you got 2,000 brokers that are promoting their website in particular areas out on the internet, so if you're in Windsor and you post the listing in Windsor and it appears on Toronto Broker's website, isn't that fantastic? If you're in Florida and Orlando and you put properties on ICI World, your listings will actually appear on brokers' websites in Ontario. Ontario brokers, the same thing. If you put your listing for sale in Toronto, your listing will appear on all these 2,000 brokers' websites throughout Ontario, so people moving to Toronto can see it. And then that's in addition to people visiting the websites from 138 countries of the world and are visiting all the individual member websites that every one of you are promoting, getting to the top of the search engines in the world. So our information is getting to the top of the search engine through all the brokers that are on our network. That's exciting. This is being rolled out to the industry. This should be viral right now. It should be viral, 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 because it helps the moment you install the little widgets onto your website, the very next person that visits your website, they have to call you. Now, up until now, we've laid it all out. We've got, these we're on YouTube, we got videos, but somebody listens to 1, 2, 3 minutes of it, maybe it turns them off and they're gone someplace because of the 3-minute attention span of what's happening here. You either attract them, and we haven't concentrated on that 3 minutes to grab somebody's attention and hold them all the way through. This is an attempt in this particular recording to kind of do so. Now let's move on. We got less than 10 minutes to get finished, 5 minutes, because I do 90-minute sessions here to kind of get through here. Advertising, we've done all kinds of advertising. We're trying to make this services available to real estate boards, and you'll see Brampton real estate boards. We're trying to put advertisements there to get there, and we have services that real estate boards can actually run from their website. So that, let's say we just went back here. If the Brampton Real Estate Board put our particular search matrix on here, which only displays listings of their own members, wouldn't that be good for all their members? The same thing here. If at the Mississauga Real Estate Board, if we provide a little widget, a link to listings that are only the listings of Mississauga Real Estate Board members, wouldn't that be wonderful for their website so that their members are displaying all the exclusive information in the Mississauga Real Estate Board area? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Now, we know that all the members of both of these groups are members of the Toronto Real Estate Board, and that's wonderful. We think it's terrific too. Should be both. Absolutely. Why not? It's both services, and they're mutually independent and both beneficial. Let's move on. We do these real estate shows at real estate boards, real estate shows, and there's a sample of it. Thousands of people walking by our booth, getting the information for ICI. We had so many people. Our booth had 2 and 3 people thick at our real estate shows. And that people were walking by and called me after the show and said, Gary, I couldn't get near you, so how do we get together? And so we'll do one-on-one presentations, one-on-one demos. You bet. You give us a call, you book a 30-minute appointment. Everyone goes through this 30-minute appointment. Will be able to benefit faster, quicker, easier, and better. And then you can sort of trying to do it yourself, because we're going to focus you in on the things that make money. And listening just to a video, sometimes it's just a little nebulous. We actually get you engaged where you actually are going to be on the computer and doing things in this 30 minutes. And we'll show you if and when you ever do that. So we're on the front page of all these different magazines that are going on around the world. And this is great, because if one person sees this particular ad, goes to ICI World and calls any one of our members on one of these businesses, the member on our service makes money, all because we place this ad in a newspaper. Isn't that wonderful? But you know, the newspapers themselves are doing an incredible job. They're on street corners. They got people delivering these things day and night, putting them on the street corners all over the place, in banks, in variety stores, and just every place that you can imagine. And so they are doing a tremendous job getting your information out onto the street. So we recommend that everyone place an ad in there too. Why not take advantage of both services and take advantage of what's going on the internet through ICI World, which is a major world service. We talked about the MLS is a major world service, that the Point 2 is a major world service. Well, these magazines are another service too that are out on the streets. You should take advantage of them as well. Absolutely. If you can afford it, you should be doing it. There's another example, front page, you know, on magazines and street corners and all that kind of stuff. The top of the search engines, that also helps. But you know what we're finding? It's really the local brokers that should be getting to the top of the search engines, because if somebody does a local search, you should be coming up, each and every one of you, wherever you are. And we have our How to Promote Your Website, that we cover that in that. Now, we've covered the widgets. We're going to start winding down here, and we've covered, you know, where to get exclusive information, all this kind of exclusive information. And now we're going to cover the final, as we come into the final little session here, the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about today. And we're oopsie daisy. It's covered Business at the Speed of Thought. It's a book written by Bill Gates many years ago. What you can think of in your mind, if you can actually post it, you know, onto ICI World in real estate, it can make you money. So if you know that you have a home coming for sale, that's not a signed listing. You just know that you have a home coming for sale, or a commercial property coming for sale, or a developer says, listen, you can sell my property, you can lease my property, but I don't want to give you a listing, but I will pay you a commission, but I don't want to give you a listing. That is just nothing more than a thought. That's a piece of business. And the speed of thought is through ICI World. This is the concept started over 20 years ago that we started for ICI World. We're in a room, Toronto Real Estate Board, a broker stands up. You know, I have a lawyer who's got I know a lawyer who's got an owner who has a $13 million plaza. Well, by golly, that's just a thought. Well, if you can post that thought on ICI World and somebody can see it, Literally, they can see it, pick up the phone and call you and say, I have a major buyer or offshore buyer, and they want to put some funds into Canada, into the United States, because they feel that real estate is safe. Can we maybe get together and talk about it? You bet. You put your agreements in place, and here you've got a buyer that can buy 10 of these $13 million plazas, and you just have the one, and you end up making $100,000 to $200,000. Business at the speed of thought. It's what goes through your mind. This is not a listing service like a real estate board. Everybody says, oh, we're the same as, some of these other services that are out there. It's not. It's the ability to be able to work thoughts onto a networking service that people can see what's in your brain, what you're thinking, and then maybe you can get together with them and do some business. This can create commerce. It can create business in every single country of the world, and it's running now. You can do it. The only thing it needs is your engagement. That's it. Now, we're not going to do it for free because we'll go out of business. If we did this for free, we would go out of business. And I just heard of a beautiful service the other day. Dealmakers went out of business. I talked to a gentleman in New York, and it went out of business. They were operating a fabulous service. Haves and wants. They had 40,000 people on their list that they were circulating information to. It was a wonderful service. And my heart just, I just thought how bad that is. They went out of business. And I asked, did you ever join the service? And the gentleman said no, and yet he deals in $1 million plazas. I don't know what's going on with people where you don't cut money for a certain service to keep it in business, and you should. You must. You are investing in yourselves when you do this stuff. Now, some of these services, if they don't produce, call them within 90 days and get them to fix it. Call them within 90 days. If you buy any service, I don't care what it is, technology-wise, there's 20 website companies supplying services for everybody out there and more. If they don't do a good job and you're not producing leads or generating business within 90 days, call them back. Give them one chance. And in baseball, you get 3 strikes, and only then are you out. So try giving them a strike. Give them a second strike. Give them a third strike. And then if you can't do it, then if you want to let it go, it's up to you. The funny thing in baseball? You can be wrong 7 times, and you can be a leader in your industry on the 3 times that you're successful. You can have a batting average of 300 and be the best. Think about it. Okay, let's move on. Now, $10 million. You need to find out whether this person is credible and you can really invest $10 million. Absolutely right. Franco deals in this kind of stuff. You brought up a good point, Franco. I need to find out whether this person is credible. The whole internet is full of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the beautiful thing about licensed real estate brokers and salespeople? They are doing the work for developers, for buyers, for institutions. And that's why institutions and all these companies have people in charge of acquisition and disposition, so that they can qualify the tire kickers, the curiosity seekers, the time wasters, all of the fraud artists. All of these things are qualified by licensed real estate brokers and salespeople. Their offices are doing it. The managers, the brokers of records, they're spending time in meetings to train people how to ask the right questions and get to the heart of things, how to qualify people, make sure that they properly qualify through their banks and everything else, so that when you walk into a FSBO, you already have qualified buyers. When a FSBO has somebody walk in, they don't know if they're qualified or not, or whether they're trying to take advantage of them somehow. So those are the things, the beautiful things that real estate brokers offer as a service. And when a broker says, and he's going to be making $50,000 from the sale of a property, how many times has he had to go show other properties that the buyers didn't like, that the owners didn't want to sell or change their minds, and all the aggravation and time things that have gone into doing that one sale, knowledge-wise, to get to the point to be able to produce that qualified buyer. There's a special skills involved and time and energy gone in to do that. And so this is another thing, and the reason I like your question, Franco, is it gave me a chance to say to the industry that real estate brokers provide great services qualifying. Now, there's another set of people out there that need to remain confidential. Absolutely confidential. And brokers and salespeople provide this confidentiality to all the people in the business. If you have a $12 million home, sometimes you don't want people shooting with their cameras the Van Goghs and the other pieces of artwork that you might have in your home. You want confidentiality. You don't mind if the broker says $12 million property, Toronto area. qualify the buyer first, and then the owner doesn't mind knowing maybe who they're going to be giving the information to, and the buyer and the owners can do this. They can request who is it going to be going to. You can select and choose who you want to deal with, and the brokers provide that element of confidentiality. You try to do that private for sale, you're already giving away what it is that you got. And so when it comes to institutions, 10, 20, 50, and to $1 and $2 billion and $7 billion properties, which all been dealt with through ICI World, you can provide that element of confidentiality. We have even a confidential section for the type of property, confidential, and the location, geographic area, location is confidential. So anytime you have properties, if it's a $1 billion property, you don't even want to say what country it is. You don't want to even say what continent it is. You just want to say $1 billion, that's it. Qualify the buyers before you release any information of where it might be. People that are buying these kinds of properties can buy them any place in the world. As long as they're making money, they're interested. They all want to put their money to work, because leaving it in the banks isn't doing any good right now. That's for sure. Okay, let's move on. There it is, people. Take your cameras out, take your phones out, take a picture of this right now. This is the key to today's session. These are the 3 simple questions. You master these 3 questions and you can be getting more properties for sale that you can be posting on ICI World, and you can be doing it on a confidential basis without a signed listing. Because what does it say? You're asking the owner, will you pay me a commission if I bring you a buyer? If I bring you a buyer. The people that haven't made money on ICI World, they were asking, will you pay me a commission? And of course, a FSBO says no. So you wonder why you're not getting any listings. There's the reason why. If you don't say, if I bring you a buyer, then you'll get a yes. Will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing to show the property once I have a buyer? What that means is, even though we're working exclusive listings, open listings, it doesn't mean that we don't put agreements in place first before divulging the address or divulging the identity of the property. So you're getting a commitment ahead of time that they will agree to that once you have a buyer. And they normally do agree to something like that. Now, it might not be exactly 48-hour exclusive listing, people. It could be anything in writing. And if you can't get anything in writing from the owner, get it from your buyer. If you can't get it from one or the other, get yourself some help. Get your broker of record. They're the ones that are splitting the commissions with you. They're the ones that are helping you. And if anybody has to go to court, it's your broker that's going to court on your behalf. Get them involved to help you with these agreements. They will help you. They're working their lives 24 hours a day thinking about you, how they can help you. What can they do to help you do that next deal? And it becomes a fun challenge. Sometimes it's not even the money. We just want to get it done. It's just like playing a game. You know, you want to kind of get the job done. It's like sports. You know, you want to win. Then the third question is this: may I advertise your property, but I'm going to do it without disclosing the address? And you can get a yes, yes, yes from all 3 questions. If it's a restaurant owner, they're going to say, may I advertise your property? They're going to say no. But if you say, I'm going to do it without disclosing the address, they may say yes. You can just say restaurant, Mississauga area, $350,000 making money. That doesn't give away the restaurant. But if I said it was at Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street, there could be 3 restaurants there, but it only takes a half an hour to go to those 3 restaurants, find out which one it is, and if it's a buyer, they can end up dealing directly with those restaurants, and you are out $35,000 commission because you gave it away. You gave too much information. Your tongue was a little too loose. You've got to protect your information, just like money in a bank. You lock it up, and you got to protect your information until you have agreements in place, and then go show it. If you don't feel you have a good relationship with one of the buyers or the sellers, I question whether you should even do that deal or not. Anyways, that's it in a nutshell. You get information. Every one of you can get at least 15 pieces of information asking these 3 questions. Get on ICI World and post it. It's the first place you should be putting it in the world. Every broker and salesperson in the world should be putting it on ICI World first, because it's the first, the biggest, and the best place to kind of put exclusive information. Get it on here. We're going to become known as a national database of real estate exclusive have and want information. And we'd like to click in with one of these days and make another presentation to CCIMs. We did one many years ago, but we'd like to do another one today because everything has been more put together and all the loose ends kind of covered somehow. It's just a little bit of design changes which would make things prettier for everybody's website. We can do, there's a way to get that done by contracting people, which you can pay for, and then you can have the information be in exchange. That is the heart of the meat of the matter, is the exchange of that kind of intellectual information of haves and wants that can make people a lot of money. Now, we've got calls coming in our office now, but we're done. This is one organization that has a requirement that a registrant shall not, and this is called the Real Estate Council of Ontario, which licenses real estate people in the Ontario market, but there are, I'm sure, similar provisions and other licensing bodies, whether you're in Orange County, California, or Orange County in Florida. They're all over the United States and Canada. Licensing bodies in every state and province has these different requirements that a registrant shall not include anything in an advertisement that can reasonably be used to identify specific real estate unless the owner of real estate has consented in writing. Okay, and the question was, and this is a very good question too that just came in, can you do a presentation on the qualification of a buyer? The answer is yes, but not today. We have other people that will actually conduct that. And if there's anyone listening that can conduct presentations that are the benefit of the real estate industry, we can host you now where I can switch the computer right over to you and you can do your PowerPoint and present it to the industry, and I'd love to host doing that. And it'll be like sponsored like a television program, sponsored by ICI World. And today's featured guest is you. And you could be speaking on your subject matter, and then we do a little 30-minute presentation, a little commercial at the 15-minute mark for 2 minutes, one commercial at the end, one a little bit at the beginning, and you can actually have your service presented to the public, and we're happy to do that. And we can host it, and if you don't want us to host it, we'll just provide the services and do it any way you want. And we're just happy to accommodate you and kind of do it. Have fun in the business while we're on this planet Earth, because we're all passing through. Okay, when somebody calls you on one of these ads, the first thing they're going to do is ask you for the address, and you make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I can show it to you on Saturday. You come to my office, and we'll take you from there, and we'll show it to you. So that's the easy way to kind of handle it, is one way to kind of handle it, and you kind of go from there. And you put an agreement in place, you go show it, and you make $50,000. And that's exactly what's being done in the industry today in commercial real estate. We got 50 pages of testimonials, people. What else do we have to do to show you that it can work for you? It's proof positive. It means that you're not wasting your time by doing stuff on ICI World. You will learn things, how to apply these things in your local market. There's so many things you can learn that are worth the price of just one little admission. For the whole year, it's a price of literally one ad, $300 for the year to kind of join our service. And you can learn all of these concepts, ideas, and things as you go along here. Okay, coming for sale, same thing. Excuse me. We're going over our time, but I'm going to go over it and finish it. If you don't mind, you can listen to it at another time, put it on hold, and play it again, Sam, later on. And same thing, in this particular case, coming for sale, listen, once I get the listing signed, I'll give you a call. You can be one of the first people through the property. How does that sound? And then that way, that can even help you get the listing. When you got 3 or 4 people that are ready to see the place once it's listed, that gets people excited to get their place freshened up and ready to put it for sale. So there's example of ads that do not give anything away. And you can do these kind of things with an information service. This is circulating information in the business. It doesn't give an address, and it does not identify properties. But if you said that triplex was at the corner of Bloor and Ossington next to the Pizza, that's giving it away. So you got to be careful of that. When you have a property like this, there might only be one Esso gas station in Lindsay. You're actually giving it away. So you should say branded gas station, 1 hour to Toronto. This Brantford Shopping Center, there's only one that's $30 million. You could be giving it away by just saying that, absolutely. So what you're going to say is $30 million shopping center, maybe Canada. That's it. You don't have to say anything more, because people, all the REITs and pension funds are looking for properties basically $5 million and up. They're going to consider it probably no matter where it is. And you get the call, $30 million shopping center, Canada. That's all you have to say. You don't even, you can choose confidential if you want on our service. So you can get calls, and I'm letting you know, all the people that are dealing on major properties around the world, you should be posting them on ICI World and just listing them by price. That's it. Just list the price, $1 billion, confidential. Make it through a licensed real estate broker or salespeople, people, because they are licensed with the National Association of Real Estate. They're licensed with the Canadian Real Estate Association. They follow codes of ethics, codes of conduct, and they are identifiable people. If there's fraud going on, if they're instantly found, they're going to be weeded out. If somebody's been in business 10 or 20 years, I don't think you're going to see any fraud from those people. They've been in the business a long time. They know how to watch out for that. They have Facebook sites. You can visit them. You can see what they're doing. You can see their connections in the industry for raising charitable funds. All kinds of people are doing that in real estate with their money. Mobile websites, if you don't have it, shame on you. They're so darn easy. I can have them up and running. I had one today. We did it this morning. It was running before it was even ready. And the reason was I told the broker to go register the domain name and to point it to NS1, NS2, and I told him the instructions, and he got it pointed, and we started the website today, and by the time we had partially finished the website, we checked to see if the name pointer was working. It was all working. His website was up and running within literally 30 minutes because he had his domain name pointed right away. So it's fantastic. We can have a mobile website ready for you no matter what market you're in, from Florida to California and from New York to Washington, Oregon, and any place from Vancouver right to St. John's, Newfoundland. You can have a website up and running right away, mobilized, so that if you know nothing about websites, all you have to do is give out the website domain name, which in a lot of cases could be simply your name, jimclark.com. You tell people to go to it. You got 3 major networks there. You can pull it up on your phone and you can search properties on our community right from your website. You can get listings delivered to you, the new ones, right from our website on your mobile phone. That's what everyone should be doing. We support all websites with our widgets. There's over 20 major companies in the world that are, there's probably hundreds of companies, and I don't care if you got a GoDaddy website for free or $1 or $99 websites, whatever they are. Without the widgets, you don't trigger the leads that you could with the widgets. With the widgets, going to help your website trigger leads because it's nothing but listings. Every website company should be marketing the widgets from ICI World on their website. Because if your real estate salesperson has the widgets from ICI World, which are links to listings, and they're triggering leads, and that salesperson gets a lead from his website, I don't care what company it is, any one of these companies in the world, they're going to want to keep your website. Why? Because they're making money. So help them make money with the widgets, the listing. It's the listings that trigger the leads. Now, what's happening with the listings on websites? Well, a lot of them have addresses. If people see the addresses, they might drive by the property first and see the sign on the property from the other broker, and then they end up calling the other broker, and the salesperson who's got one of these websites doesn't even get the call. The widgets from ICI World are such a way that you have to get the call because they can't click on the message numbers. You have to get the call. So it's a complement to what's going on. You still need those other kind of listings too, but with the ICI World, it also shows people that you can be triggering leads and absolutely inevitable to trigger leads. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and you can link them together. And the mobile websites are the new internet revolution. How to promote your website, register for the next one. It's coming up next week, and we run them every month. And you're going to see our schedules for the next year. Every single month you should register. You should get everybody in your office to register. Pass it on. Do it through Facebook. You get things, mention iciworld.mobi. Register for how to promote your website. I'm letting everyone take advantage of it. Industry, it's here. If you want it, you got it. If you don't, well, we had fun doing it for you. Okay, let's move on. Know our pledge, and we feel strong about this. We have a checklist, that I have found throughout the years, and we've had brokers say, Gary, thank you for the second chance. I see what I was missing. So many times I've had that said, and you just give us a chance to work with you. And sooner or later, when it gets too darn busy, and we got a lot of people trained to kind of help people do these kind of things. And we've got call centers in India and Philippines that are online. They're coming online, and we told them, each one of them, the ones that kind of help us the best, we're going to be working with them, and we're working with more than one, so they all kind of feel a little challenged to kind of do the best, and that's what we're doing to get ready for like more volume work and everything that's kind of going to be going on here. But If you're not developing new business or relationships with someone every 90 days, you must call us because you are missing something. Now, we know you're all racing around and doing business right now, family and business stuff and holidays and stuff like that. But when you have a chance, there's going to be a time. Give us a call. Let us check it over. And literally within 2 minutes, I can do an analysis and say what you're missing right off the bat. Usually I check the dates of your listings. How old are they? If they're over 90 days old, you're missing. Bingo. If you don't have 15 opportunities, you don't know how to work exclusive information. And if you don't have the widgets on your website, no wonder you're not triggering leads from your website. And then I go to a website and their domain names don't even work. I go to people's website, the listings are not even working. The links don't even work because you haven't checked it. You must check your website a minimum of once every 30 days. Every 30 days, every one of you that are listening to this must check your website once every 30 days to see if it even works. You'll be surprised. It doesn't even work. Get to the top of the search engines. We're going to be coming on with SEO stuff and stuff like that in the next seminar called How to Promote Your Website. That's it for today. Special for the seminar. If you call us and mention that you got to the end here, you deserve to get the $240 corporate rate for 1 year. Having to listen to all of this stuff, it's not like Dancing with the Stars or listen to the playoffs in a baseball, hockey, or basketball game, because I play basketball 6 times a week. But it's money-making stuff, people, and you can get excited about it. Every single person can make money with this. Even if you're home doing it part-time, you can trigger leads and do referrals. And for the full-time people, you're triggering leads for the full-time people. And that's good. That's providing good services. So, welcome to ICI World, everyone. It's hearing it for the first time. We look forward to kind of giving you a hand. There will be a survey, hopefully after this session. We really do appreciate your feedback on these surveys, and wish you all the best. And we don't have to say safe drive home because most of you are already at home. That's the summary of services there. And that's it for today. If you want our phone number, we do have an 877 number. 877-272-1721. I'll try to bring it up on the screen. These are just some of the things, signs that we have when we do sessions all over in real estate offices, etc. That's a summary of some of the things that we're doing, and we simply hope that you feel that the $319 per year that we charge is worth more than that. We certainly work hard to make sure that is way more than that, and it's an investment because you should definitely be receiving it back in the income that you learn, but you got to give us a chance. Measure your success every 90 days. Don't let it go. Anybody that's kind of trying to blame anybody else for not making money, it's usually there's one finger pointed at us, but there's 3 fingers pointed right back at you. Okay, that there's little things, and it's not much because everything's automatic. The only thing you do once you're trained is add and search listings from time to time. That's it. That's it. You make sure that your website's working once a month. Those are all automatic. ICI World is working 24/7 for you. Now, you do need to promote your website throughout the year, but that's a separate story. Thank you, gracias, bedank, grazie, merci, and thank you for your opportunity to be of service to you. I'll bring up one page which will cover our, where is it here, which will cover our phone numbers. Let's just kind of go right here and bring that up. And so I'm going to suggest that everybody mark these numbers down. And you can actually email us from here. But I suggest just a phone call. Get in touch with us and give us a hand. In the beginning, you get a chance to talk to me. When I'm dead and gone, you'll be talking to somebody else. So you can chalk right to the horse's mouth right now. And we look forward to do it. We just simply enjoy serving you starting at 7 a.m. daily, 30-minute appointments all day long, 5 days a week. No matter where we are in the world, we love doing this stuff for you. Okay, that's it for today. We're going to sign off on this session. There was no question and answer today like we normally do. We've gone way over and grossly mishandled our time, but I've squeezed everything in here. What you have are 20 years of the best things that can help you make money accumulated by ICI World being on the internet, basically 24 hours a day, working with the whole industry of licensed real estate people and salespeople and real estate associations, working with leaders in the industry. We have leaders, members of boards of directors of all companies in the business, from the RE/MAXs, you name it, right to the licensing bodies. We have people that work for RICO that are members on our service, and they've all helped contribute to make sure that everything is being done on a straight and narrow, so that everything is done in a legal, competent, professional fashion. And we hope to hear from every single one of you that has ever listened to this to come on board. And yes, we'll do a little special for you when you join. That's it for today. And thank you so much for the opportunity to work with you. We enjoy helping and working with you. And have a good day and good health and happiness.